Hey everybody, what's going on? Your host LovelyCheesePizza here. Welcome back to Let's Play some more Untold Legends Brotherhood of the Blade. Still totally exhausted, but we're plowing on. It's going to be the last video that I can make tonight before I think I'm just gonna keel over and fall asleep in this office itself. So, let's get this mission, or at least complete the one here. You have performed most admirably, the young guardian. Smiths in the Shaylun Mall. Oh, great. Another thing that just popped out of nowhere that we don't know. Smiths in the Shaylun Mall have forged this in honor of your service and dedication to the people of Avon. Use it well. The Vroltalk have been hindered, but we will not enjoy the spoils of this victory for long. We must still prepare for their next strike. Until that inevitable time arises, you are to report to Overseer Lucetta. She possesses the details of your next assignment. I mean, does anybody ever give this guy a moment's rest at all? Like, think about what's happened since we've started this. Literally has had zero time to rest. They're like, oh hey, I know you've been gone just slaying the living shit out of people for an undetermined amount of time, but we're not gonna let you rest at all. You're just gonna have to, you know, hang here and deal with it. Oh. So this is Vengeance. Has a chance to knock back the enemy. Looks pretty cool too, by the way, with the whole wavy lays thing with like a wristband on. I don't know what wavy lays with a wristband on would even look like, but you get what I'm saying. That thing is fucking huge too, nonetheless. But that's not really the problem here. It's not. I mean, neither part of it was a problem, but we're gonna go along with this still, and we're gonna sell some things off that we do not need, including the Vengeance. We're going to hold on to that. Don't need the Bone Cane, as cool and as high damage as that is. And then we can get rid of the Bardish. Bardish? Who knows? Can't remember how to say it. Oh yeah, we need to hold on to that. That thing's good. It is very good. What are we going to slap on it, though? Strength? Strength might be good. And slightly increased... the only problem is we do lose some critical strike percentage... But, might still be worth it in the long run. Anything that we don't need. We're holding on to that. No. I may have, for all I know, I may have even said last episode, oh, I'm going to hold on to that thing because you never know when you're going to need it. But, alas, we obviously don't because I didn't hold on to it. I definitely got another one of these. I'm going to take that. Don't need those. Umbral Skulls. No. Okay, I think we're good. Wait, what's this? Fire Gem Hoop, Glittering Necklace. Don't need either one of them. Okay, well, with that said, let's go report. Let's see if there's anybody else we need to report to. I know Lucetta's got something for us, but she's not the one that I'm entirely worried about at the moment. Okay, so I guess she is the one I need to worry about at the moment. I have story time, by the way, as soon as we get done with this. Gotta get our way back up here so we can go talk to her and see what kind of bullshit she has for us to do. As if we don't have enough already. He's just like, okay, what do you have for me? He's like, can I please just like go take a nap and at least have a fucking sandwich and a beer? Like, please? He's like, I mean, are they literally outside at the city gates now? Because if they're not, can I please just like go take like a hot shower and just chill? Maybe rub one out or something? It would seem that your actions have earned you as many enemies as they have admirers, Guardian. It will not be long before the Vroltalk retaliate, and we must be prepared for their arrival. I have located a perfect reinforcement for our border, and should my calculations be correct, we will be able to secure the Merrill Rock gates against another attack. I need you to go into the Badlands and find the Whispering Chasm. The sirens that lived there were once contained in chambers protected by an enchanted device. The enchanted devices, once used to safeguard the sirens from their enemies, even though you already told me that, will also protect our gates from further attack. It literally just said the entire thing 2 times in consecutively. I have learned from Madame Diana's scouts that the siren known as Alicia the Hateful still retains the artifact that held her in slumber for centuries. You must confront this powerful siren and recover the containment shard, because it will help completely ward off another attack, as I have told you 3 times now. Bring the shard back to me and my acolytes, and we will ensure that it is properly attuned for our needs. Okay, cool. So now we have things. Oh, also, we were going to slap this little hunk of Missoula right there, and then throw her on. Cool. Nice. Yeah, look at that. Oh my god, we are dripping in strength right now, which is totally fine by me. Put the armor rating up to 175. Let's fucking go. So let's see, we have repair the gates to get to the Whispering Chasm for the containment shard. We have the second rise of the Horde, which I think we'll do that one, because Splinterful Woods is at least a new area. So we need to go to Shatter Cove West. Okay. However, I don't remember where was Shatter Cove West. God, this is where having the map is like barely helpful at all. Because I know that we haven't gone in there. Okay, so it's Shatter Cove West is going to be in what? Is that supposed to be Shadow Pine or Tornwood Forest? Okay, well, good to know. Nice to know that's a thing. So, yeah, I hate how wildly convoluted that map is. They leave way too much of that up to just, like, random judgment, like, I think this is where this is supposed to be. Nice, one shot without even getting the crit on him. He's just like, fuck, it hurts. I've had enough. I've had enough. So over the last couple of days, because I've been spending a lot of time with my kids and with my fiance and whatnot, I've had the luxury of getting to watch them while she's off at work, because she works about 65 miles away from here. So they've been staying with me, and I've been able to take them out and go to the park and do a whole bunch of things. I know there was a couple things that happened over the last couple of days that I had realizations of. Number one is I came to find out that those trampoline park things, the ones that are here in Salem and Eugene at least are called Get Air. I have never been into one of those. I've seen videos of people doing crazy ass things in them before, doing crazy flippy bullshit, and I've never gone into one. There's one that's not even that far away from where my house is, and I've never taken the plunge into it. I never really could figure out why, but I decided to take the kids there just yesterday. Not only so that they could have some fun while we were burning some time waiting for her to get off of work, but just because I was really kind of intrigued at what it's actually like in there. I ended up for me, I ended up not doing anything though. I as much as I wanted. Damn, dude, look at that! Look how grisly that is. Oh, that's so tight. Oh, I know that's such a minute detail, but look how grisly of a death that is. They literally jerry-rigged a fucking platform to hang that guy from, and his body's just decomposing on it. Oh, I've never noticed that. That is such a cool detail. Good job, game. That's fucking awesome. That may not be the most awesome thing you've ever seen. Again, these graphics aren't mind-bending or anything, but just the fact that they decided to put that little thing in there, super cool. Anywho, for me, I actually had mild heat exhaustion from yesterday. Didn't put on any sunscreen or anything, and I was out, running around, doing things in the hot-ass sun. And, oh god, just by the time we got to that point when I took him there, I was so fucking just obliterated and wiped out that I barely even had it in me just to go walk in there and do any of that in the first place. When I took them in there, let them, do the whole thing and run around and do all that, and God, I could see myself having fun in there forever. That place is super great. I'm really glad I got to figure that out, because dude, they've got they've got those huge ass pits with the square box looking thingamajigs, and they've got rock climbing walls in there, and they've got fucking basketball hoops and stuff, and a dodgeball. They have a fucking dodgeball room on trampolines. How fucking cool is that? And they were playing all the jams. Whoever's in charge of making playlists for that place was on fucking point. Oh, alright, well now we've hit the point where items are too heavy. We should probably see what we got. We did get a couple of things that I didn't even look into. I should have sold that, man. That's a lot of weight. Don't need that. Don't need that either. I say we drop this. I mean, for God's sake, it's 9.7 pounds. I'm not gonna waste my time with it. I want to be able to at least look at other things. So, yeah, dude, I'm definitely, I have to go back and get down on it. Like, there were a couple of kids that were doing, like, these crazy-ass, super acrobatic things. And, like, doing, like, you know, like, 540s and, you know, 540s mixed with backflips and front flips and stuff. And they were just doing all sorts of crazy shit. I'd love to do the one with the basketball hoop, though, because you could totally just, you know, it's almost like watching halftime shows or whatever, where people are, you know, running full speed and then, you know, hitting the trampoline and just launching themselves up in the air and doing crazy batshit awesome dunks. Ah, Mystic Demetria, huh? So that was one thing. The other thing that I came to the conclusion of, I took the kids to the park today, and they were just kind of like one of those splash pad things where it's just like an area that's got all these crazy fucking like water devices. There's like these built into the ground like giant squirt gun things, and there's like this tower that's got these 3, you know, intravenous drip looking things that are filling these buckets that when they get full enough they just totally pour out and dump all over, you know, people's faces and whatever. And they've got like all these other like spraying machines and whatever, and there were just a shitload of kids out there. And so I took the kids out and let them run around and do their thing there, and I'm sitting there watching them, and it just dawned on me, it hit me like a sack of fucking potatoes. I was like, do you realize how absolutely remarkable it is how easily kids are entertained by running water? This is the weirdest fucking thing. Something as simple and, I mean, I want to call it inanimate because, you know, I mean, it is, ooh, that's a big ass scorpion. I mean, it's not like a static object, obviously. So I mean, it is animated, I suppose, but it's not like you know, animated like a fucking animal or something where you can interact with it in you know, in like a sentient sense. But it is animated in you know, a different sense, I suppose. But the fact that like you can have kids interacting with that for fucking hours, it's amazing. Like, you know, I was there for a solid 4 hours. Just, you know, letting them go to town on that, and they were perfectly content with that the whole time. I couldn't even believe it after a while. I was like, this is just, it's like the most simple concept of all time. It's just water. That's all it is. And, like, you know, and the fact that kids can, you know, they can take, like, empty water bottles and fill them up and just go run around and spray them at each other endlessly, forever, is just the most remarkable thing. I mean, for me, when I was a kid, I used to do the same thing, so it's not like, you know, I never experienced it as a kid, and that's why I'm finally coming to terms with it. It's just like, I never, at that age, I never just sat down and really thought about, oh, boy, this is just strangely entertaining, and I can't figure out why. It was just, I don't know. It seems like a horribly just weird, like, why are you even thinking about that kind of thing? But I don't know. It was interesting. I was just studying people. I was doing like a weird like psychological evaluation of just everybody that was there, and just like watching the lengths that people would go so that they could actually just fill up something with water just so they could dump it on their own heads. It was so fascinating for all these kids that couldn't get in line to, you know, go get in the thing with the buckets where they dump on you, and kids were just like, they were running to their parents like, do you have an empty bottle of water? I want to fill it up and dump it on my head. It was just so weird. And there was a kid that actually went to such great lengths. I applaud him all the way. He goes over to his parents and he asks them that same question. They didn't have one, but they had, you know, they were having like a picnic out there, and they had, you know, just like these giant ass Ziploc bags. And they're like, well, you can totally have this instead. He's like, awesome. And it just like, I don't know, it totally took me, like, it was like a flashback to my childhood where like your ingenuity, you know, kids' ingenuity of just trying to find any type of fucking device to make something work for whatever purpose they wanted it to work for, you know, comes into play. And this kid just takes this fucking Ziploc bag that still has like sandwich pieces of stuff in it, and he's like, I don't even care, I just want to get this thing full. And he just goes and fills up a Ziploc bag full of water, which I don't think I've ever I don't think I've ever put into a sentence before, a Ziploc bag full of water. And he goes and just fills the thing up and just dumps it on his head. And then it got weird. I started watching this kid just because the whole Ziploc bag thing started to fascinate me. And then it started getting weird to a point where his parents had to take it away from him because he kept going back and he'd fill the thing up and he'd keep doing the dumping thing. But one particular time, he took it a little too far. And I mean, he took it a little, like way too far. He goes over there and he fills it up. And not only does he dump the thing on his head, but he just puts the Ziploc bag over his head. Like, to a point where he's basically he's just asking to asphyxiate himself. And he did it for way too long. Like, he had that thing, like, pretty heavily, fixated over him. And I'm sitting here watching this like, where are his parents at? For God's sakes, please stop him from what he's doing. Please do not let me watch this kid kill himself because he's so excited about a Ziploc bag full of water that he's going to choke himself to death just because, the water was extra cold. And now the bag was cold, so he wanted to use it to keep himself cool. I was like, oh, for the love of God, please don't let this kid just go and off himself. The other thing, too, is that kids are, like, they're so weirdly impressionable about people that if they decide within the first, like, 15 seconds that they like you as a stranger, they will follow you around anywhere. It's crazy. I was doing the dad thing, and, I was playing with my kids on the playground, and I was, helping them run around and do their thing, and they were on, like, this weird, like, suspended in the air spinny wheel thing where they grab on and somebody's supposed to, turn the thing while they're on it, and then people fall off and blah, blah, blah. It got to the point where other kids saw what was going on, and they wanted to be part of it. Totally understand it. So I decided, I'm going to help everybody out. I'm going to pick them up. I'm going to put them on there. I'm going to, let everybody have a good time, whatever. And after about, 20, 25 minutes of doing that, I decided, hey, I need to take a water break real quick. Like, I'm fucking exhausted at the moment. It's super hot out and I need to get a drink. And so I decide to disengage for a moment and I walk away. I'll finish this up in a sec. We meet again, champion, but it is not fate that has brought us face to face. I have watched you for some time. I have followed your struggles and triumph with great interest, and still you are ignorant to the foundation of your purpose, and I've told you this already, because everybody seems to want to fucking tell you this. Those beside whom you dwell call the wildlings, thieves, and scoundrels, when we are far more than you allow yourself to understand. There's a deep history between our people, one that you must come to understand and accept as the champion of our world. There is a place beneath the very streets of Avon that will help all your people understand our joint past. Go to the long walk and seek the Wayfarer's Testament. Give that ancient text to your historians, and I promise you will all be the wiser for it. Why do I feel like we've been there already? I feel like I've been there for some reason. I don't know. That's very maybe I'm thinking about like a different playthrough at a different time. That was weird. But so I was like, okay, I need to go take a water break real quick, you guys. I'll be right back, okay? And so, they're like, oh, okay. And so I go walk over to my bench where, I had like a couple of Gatorades and like a bag of Skittles or whatever, just because I wanted something with some sugar just to keep me going. And I sat down for just a second to take a drink out of that thing, and I realized that all four of the kids that, including my own, that I was associating with at that time, they all just like came over, and these two kids that I have no idea who the hell they were, they just came over and just started grabbing, like my bottles of water and stuff, and just started to shovel it down. I'm like sitting here thinking, like, what the fuck is going on? like where out of the blue did they just make this decision that they're just gonna come over here and get all up into my stuff? I don't really understand. It was so weird. I'm just sitting here like what am I supposed to do here? Like, where are their parents? Like, I feel like the last thing that I want to do right now is be that weird, creepy ass dude that like these kids of whom I'm not their parent, they walk over here and I'm giving them these mysterious beverages that they don't know that I didn't put a bunch of rice and crazy poison in them or anything. And their parent, and I'm just sitting here thinking, as they're drinking out of my containers, because I couldn't tell them to stop because they already just went full bore into it. I'm sitting here thinking, please, for the love of God, tell me that their parents not going to walk up and say they're going to, like, turn me into the authorities because, you know, they're like, I don't know where the fuck you are, and you're giving my kids this mystery liquid. How do I know you didn't put something in it? It's like, because I drank out of it already. It's not like I found a way to make myself immune to the poison that I put in there. Like, what kind of fucking person do you think I am? I have kids of my own. It's like not like I came down to the park and just decided that I wanted to go on a murdering spree. Like, haha, that's my day off from work today. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go kill some kids at the park. And so I'm gonna go through this rigorous process of making myself immune to this poison that I'm gonna concoct, and it's gonna be amazing, and no one's gonna be any the wiser. But it was so weird. Like, I didn't know whether I was supposed to, like, tell them no and be kind of an asshole because they were thirsty, or be like, you know, or be the nice guy and just be like, hey, you know what, this is all yours, it's fine. And so I just kind of had to roll with it, and then I eventually kind of hit a point where I was like, okay, this is uncomfortable. I think I need to relocate a little bit because I don't want to be the weird guy that all these kids are flocking to mysteriously and then have questions arise. Okay, well, I don't need that obsidian choker. I don't need any of these things either. Like fire crested. Oh my god, 198. Jesus. That's pretty awesome. I don't need it right now, though. I think I will buy it just for the sake of having it on hand, though. That would be cool. Okay, this is what I'm thinking. I think we're going to stop right here. And when we come back... Ooh, kind of threw up my mouth a little bit there. When we come back on the next episode of Let's Play... I almost said Gauntlet Legends. Same kind of thing. When we come back on the next episode of Let's Play Untold Legends Brotherhood of the Blade, we're going to go into the Long Walk. We have to go into the Forbidden Catacombs again, back in the dungeon inside of the bar where we went and fought the giant Spider Queen. We got to go back in there, and that's where the Long Walk is going to be, and that's where this whole, you know, deal is going to be, where we find some sort of hidden tome, possibly, or some sort of note, or scroll, or whatever it's going to be, that'll have all that, you know, all that insight into our past that's supposed to be all important and whatnot. So, this has been your host, Lovely Cheese Pizza, saying thank you guys for stopping by and watching, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys. Take it easy.